Hey everybody, welcome back. Woo! More markets, more crypto. Got to feel pumped. We're at the precipice of greatness. Things are already on the move, of course. But man, what a time ahead. We've got so much good stuff coming up for crypto. The perfect golden alignment. It's going to be pretty epic. Don't forget to get in the chat there, get lively, get your comments in. Drop any alpha. Obviously no spamming or scamming, but get in there. If you've heard anything cool, let us know. And maybe we can talk about it on live stream. Now we've got Wookie in the house there. Dollar bills, baby, says Wookie. Dollar bills. I like where you're heading. And of course, happy Thanksgiving. If you're in the United States, a big shout out over there. It'd be cool. Something that we celebrated down here would be pretty neat. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Now let's get into it. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to start off with the stock market. Obviously, stock market's closed for Thursday, but we've got Wednesday results, which I did not cover because I hadn't streamed since the day before. Tuesday results. So we're going to get into that, and we're going to be covering stocks, crypto, interest rates, crypto, Pulsechain, X28, and Shogun, which has just launched yesterday. So we're still on the first day of that. Hyper and Turbo. Turbo, of course, announced for the 1st of December. That's bullish for Volt. So super bullish for Hyper, and bullish for Turbo itself, of course, which is going to have some magic there as well. Part of the roadmap of Volt Vision. We're looking forward to that. Big supporter of that one. Let's see who's in the house. Let's go to the stock market and check that out. And let's have a look here. Got some issues going on here. Don't know what's going on. Let's close that down. I've got to close some stuff down here from the looks of it. Running out of some computer space. Might have to go check that out later on. All right, so here we are. We got obviously market closed, but yesterday for the results for Tuesday. What day is it? Friday, Thursday. Results for Wednesday, I should say. We've got the Dow Jones here was down slightly, 30%, under 38 points. S&P 500 was down 0.4%, and Nasdaq down 0.6% there, all finishing down slightly at the moment on Nasdaq. But let's have a quick look at the interest rates. We've got all sorts of things going on here with the computer. It must have some temporary memory issues. Let's see what's going on there. Let me know if everything's okay on the stream. We've got the Fed rate monitor, 2 weeks and 6 days to go, basically. 18th of December, the last interest rate review of the year. We got the market is expecting 25 basis points, so that's 0.25%, almost 70%. So that's actually got stronger. So more the market expecting a rate cut there. That would take us to 100 basis points for the year, or 1 percentage point. So down from 5.5 down to 4.5. So we're currently at 4.75 at the moment. So that is good news. That's heading in the right direction. All right, let's jump over to the crypto and have a look at that. Before we do, though, we've got let's go Turbo from Wookie. Wookie's super excited today, and she should be, because it's going to be fun. I think Turbo's going to be huge for Hyper and Volts. It's all good, super. That sounds good on the stream. All right, so we've got Bitcoin at the moment, $95,671, down 0.5%. Bitcoin dominance of 55%. So altcoin season, January, I don't know, December. We're 29th of November at the moment, or 28th, depending where you are in the world. 55 point. We're expecting it to get to 60 to 70%. That's what it's done in the previous bull market. But, history rhymes, but maybe not repeats exactly. And so, yeah, are we quite there yet? Well, we're doing pretty well with the Bitcoin number. Ethereum, however, has done pretty well, rallying. It's currently $3,587, down 2.5% though at the moment. Solana down 1.8% to $237. We do have green candles on some of the others. BNB up 2%, $658. XRP up 3.3% at $1.52. ADA is up 3% at $1.04. Tron is managing to go up a little bit there, 0.6% at 20 cents. It's a nice little move for Tron. Litecoin is down 2%, $95.85. Those are the leaders at the moment in the crypto. Let's go to the Bitcoin now. Man, this chart looks so good, doesn't it? Let's just pause for a moment to appreciate this chart. Isn't that cool? That chart is looking so good. OMG. Look at that, right in the middle almost of our band range, and we're early, right? We're early. This is December Christmas run, right? Christmas run. But we've added this second half of December, we've added this up to 120K for a Christmas present for under the tree. Put that under the tree, Bitcoin Christmas pump. Let's see whether we can do that. That'd be early too, right? So kind of cool. We've still got the timeline heading towards March, maybe April, at 150, 180K. Expect some magic. Now, Trump, of course, right in the middle there, right? Oh, but actually slightly early, 20th of January, inauguration. Man, bring it on, bring it on. What will they try and do to Trump before that? What are they going to bring out? They're going to bring out something. We saw drunk Kamala Harris try to do something, I don't know, to her Democrat followers. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Trump. Deep State will be working overtime to drop a whole ton of surprise bombs, either in the Deep State systems or actually trying to do even worse things. So we'll see. We're ticking away there. It's going to be interesting. You can bet your bottom dollar that they are trying to leave plenty of traps for Trump in the Deep State. But of course, they know he wants to get rid of a lot of the Deep State with the old Dodge and everything else that they're going to be doing. So it's going to be interesting. The battle is afoot. We've got 53 days to go until the Trump inauguration now, counting down. All right, so let's see how we go there. And possibly we could have a double top this year to 40K, $250,000 Bitcoin. Bring it on, 2025. Under the awesome leadership of Trump. It's going to be epic once he gets past the Deep State and some of the globalists. It's got a lot of work there. And don't forget some of these Labour Party people, right? There's Starmer in the UK, wrecking the UK, telling lots of lies and fibs. I saw the Conservatives in the UK telling lots of lies and fibs today too about immigration. They had 10 years to fix immigration. They wrecked it. Of course, we all know who ruined immigration in the UK. It was Blair, wasn't it? Was it 997, something like that? So, yeah, the game's afoot. We're getting the same thing in New Zealand, Australia, right? The whole thing's been set up with the UN, trying to, basically replace all the West and get rid of us all. But we got $95,700 on Bitcoin at the moment, looking pretty good. Let's go to Bitcoin returns and jump to there. We got 35% in November of increase, so we're doing pretty well for the month of November. Last year was 8.8% for the full month. So we've still got a couple of days to go for that. And then, of course, December last year, 12%. So let's get our Christmas rally on, right? Christmas rally and maybe big altcoin season, January question. That seems like the most probable time. Let's see how we go there. We got a Bitcoin halving chart. We were waiting for the banana part, right? So we got the 2012. We had double bananas there. Look at that, 2 bananas. We're waiting for the banana part there. 2016, we got the halving there with the straight green line, and then we had the banana part, the big where mad gains are made with altcoin season and stuff, Bitcoin. And then of course in 2020 we had the same banana part launching, and it was bullish, and we had a double top. So we had this double top. Probably a good chance we could see something like that, but higher, right? Higher coming up here. It's going to be way higher. And then of course this year, this is where we are now, and we got just starting the banana, just early days for banana. So very exciting there. I don't know what it did to the chart, but it was bad. Ethereum has finally made a bit of a move, and of course we were looking at this at 3,069, got up to about $3,367, finally making another break. We have a golden cross, right? So we knew that was going to break higher. That was the strong probability. So to Bitcoin rallying, and there we are at 3,580. We did get up to about $3,680. So pretty cool. We know that the previous local high was $4,093, and the all-time highs are what, 4,900. So man, oh man, I expect some big things here. 10 to 25K for Ethereum, definitely doable in this bull market with Bitcoin if it heads to that 150, 180, 200K mark range. So exciting times. All right, so golden cross in play, looking good. Let's go. And of course, let's get a Pulsechain. Before we do Pulsechain now, got any more comments? We've got Hybrids Winning House there. Hi, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving indeed. And we've got Volt in the house. Hey, Volt. 1 Bitcoin equals 3 million EX. No brainer, says the Volts. And 31 million. 31 million? Yeah, 31 million. Yeah. I thought that would have made more sense. All right, let's go to day 566 on Pulsechain. We've got quadruple 0723 on Pulse. So that's actually getting back to some decent level now. 72% of the mean sacrifice price. We're at 1% today on Pulse. Pulse X at the moment up 1.3%. at a 4 zeros 4,500. So we're at 45% of the mean sacrifice price. So we're starting to get started to inch back. Still early days, still tons of upside, tons and tons of upside for Pulsex, as well as Pulse and everything else. But this has particularly got a lot. And the buy and burn at the moment, yes, it's hit 1.1 trillion. 5.48% of the total supply has been bought up and burned as the public supply. These numbers seem kind of a little bit low compared to obviously Titanx ecosystem, where you've got Inferno and a couple other protocols over 50%. You've got other protocols around 33%, 35%. So it's pretty interesting there. But there's whole different dynamics in here, right? We've got the whole chain. We got maybe the P maker theory, P die maker theory. We got the magic carpet ride, all that sort of stuff playing in here. So it's a little somewhat different pumping mechanisms going on in Pulsechain. Just remember that. You're not comparing apples with apples, is what I would say. Apples, yeah, it's more like apples and oranges and maybe some other fruit. I don't know. And Signum token there, $2.74 is up 1.4%, ticking away there. The ratio is at 38,000, so it's a little bit better. And of course, Hex there at a 2.45 cents, down 4.8% at the moment. Had a nice little rally last night, and we got EHEX there at 37/100th of a penny. EHEX, good pickup, right? Good pickup, nice and cheap. I know the BankX has been trading out a bit there as well. I'm not sure how much they got left actually. Let us know in the chat if anyone has kept up with BankX wall, but definitely we're going to keep an eye on that. Combined price of EHEX and PX at 2.82 cents. Really breaking through the next level is going to happen. So Hex is really going to start to run, I think, once we make that third break. So that is coming upon us imminently, is in my view. So Hex there looking very, very good. So I do particularly like Pulsex and Hex are looking very, very, very nice. So that's day 566. Let's go to gas prices. The gas prices have been real elevated on Pulsex. That's a good sign, right? We're getting the volumes. Remember on the low volumes, we had like 3, maybe 5 to 7 million. Now we're getting like 10, 12 times that, right? So things have changed in Pulsechain, and now it's really hitting up big time. So we've got the beats. However, the offset is that you're getting higher Gwei. We've got 2 million, almost 2 million beats today. Half a penny. 5 cents for a Pulsex swap at the moment. So 690 Pulse. So remember to have your Pulse. If you're doing transfers or swaps, particularly swaps, make sure you got adequately there. We're still 180 times cheaper than Ethereum. Ethereum gas prices at 7 Gwei at the moment, which is not too bad. Validators there, 48,673 validators, and Pulsechain is the full DeFi chain. And we got the bridge there. Look at that. Woo! That's gone up a lot, right? 139 million. I did a stream 2 days ago. What was that at? 128, something like that. So it looks like it's gone up about 11 million approximately since I did my last stream 2 days ago. We got DAI. This is EDAI, not PDAI. This is EDAI from Ethereum, 38.25 million. So that's gone up nice and juicy. Obviously, Ethereum's gone up a lot to about 3,600, and Bitcoin there obviously looking at around 95k. So everything looking pretty good. EHEX obviously also gone up, probably almost 2x, isn't it? So it's 25 million. And I gather, the USDC and USDT look like they've gone up as well. Coast has gone up slightly, has it? Coast gone up slightly. It's kind of the play. We haven't looked at some of the other stable coins like USDL. Where's all that money gone? Eh? Where's all that money? There was 50 million bucks. Where's it all gone? Question mark there. Question mark there. I know it probably took a couple $1 million to make the protocol, and then they're not delivering the Oracle. I mean, come on, you got 50 million bucks. What you got relationships with Teller. I mean, what's going on there? Question mark. We got PXDC at the moment at 1.2 million. USDL is 8.6, and HexDC is at 926, almost $1 million there. These are our 4 native coins. Now, you guys know I want PUSD ALGO. Where's PUSD ALGO? Come on, Jacob. Let's do it. Let's get this thing up and running. We need scalability of PUSD ALGO. It's kind of like Terra Luna done right with full-on bot limit orders, right? That's what we want. PUSD ALGO. Check it out. Now, if you want to help with that, you have to be patient with the timeline. But if you want to get 2 bonuses with that, the link's in the description. PUSD ALGO, you get 90% referral bonus straight away. And then also, if you do inclusive of referral bonus of $1,000, you get the second bonus, which is bonus X up to 2x. That's a random number generated between 1.01 and 2x. But check that out, and I've got a whole video series on the channel. I am pretty super bullish on PUSD ALGO. think it looks like it could really be the one to shine. Now, we have seen, was it USD, XUSD or something like that launch recently, but we want something magical like PUSD ALGO there. I think that's going to be pretty cool with all the earnings and scalability. And we could see a lot of the actual stablecoin pump of the old Pulsechain. So it's just another additional pump factor. So there we are. All right, let's jump over to the rest of the Pulsechain. So we're currently doing 73.7 million. So yeah, that's like 10 times what we were doing in volume when Pulsechain was way down before the rally had started. So 73.7 million. You guys know I was pretty keen on 25 to 45 million. So we're smashed past that now. We've got new horizons. So we've got to have bigger expectations, right? And we've got 467,000 transactions. We're doing typically, what, 250 to 300,000, maybe down as low as 200. And now we're at 467, almost up a million transactions. So things have really turned around for Pulsechain. Now, I'm going to read out some of the top list here. I'm not endorsing any of these, of course. I'm just going through what's hot at the moment. So we've got the SRF, the SENS Research Foundation, up 60%. This has been around for 1 year, this particular token. We've got Nuts with the Secret Squirrel Society. Some of these names are crazy enough. It's got up 45% today. We've got Imp is up 36%. It's been around for 4 months. Liquidity, which is the fork copy, is it? It's got 1 year, so it doesn't look like a fork copy, but it is Liquidity. So that is up 30% at the moment. Jupiter has been around for 2 months. That is up 30%. What was it? G Baby in the know, G Baby. Up 26%, only been around 19 days. So, definitely do diligence on that. Level is up 25% there. We've got Affection is up 25%. These have been around for about half a year, these ones. OneSwap has been around. It's been around for 2 months. It's up 25% there. Is that a subdex there? I don't even know if it's on our list of subdexes. I don't see it on the list on subdexes there, but that might be OneSwap. I think we have checked it out before, but I can't remember. A bit foggy in that one. Wojak up 24%. Free Live up 22%. And these have only been around for 3 to 6 months. Blaster up 22%. Been around for 10 months. UpX 1 year, 18%. ZKZX. Why is this even trading? I thought the service is completely down, right? It's up 18%. Who knows what's going on there? Monet Money is up 17% there. Peppy, the old meme coin, the wrap Bitcoin, up 17%. So we've got quite a few over 10% today. BFF up 16, Pika up 16%, Leonidas up 15% now. There's a bit of a play on, obviously, Leonidas and Dog Shogun, I guess, on the old Bitcoin. Finvestor up 15%. UFO, of course, related to PDC, one of the top performers on Pulsechain, up 15%, so doing pretty well there. A Tropine up 15%. So we've got lots over 10%. Teddy Bear up 13%, 14%, with their Pulse Puppy up 13%. Maker. Now, obviously, a lot of people are after the top PRC. So if you're in the PDI Maker theory, then Maker's been one of those top ones. So we saw Aave pump yesterday, didn't we? Big time. So $47 at the moment, up 13%. That's probably going to continue to converge to the Maker price over on Ethereum. This is where the magic happens, right? Within that evidence there. Crow up 12%, PDC itself up 12%, and what else? We got over 10%. X is over 10%, and SolidX. I told you guys to keep SolidX on the watch list. I think it's going to be a very good performer heading into Christmas, especially with this crash game coming up from Eric from DragonX. So it's up 10%. So those are all the ones over 10%. We're going to do an honorable mention to Axis Alive because it's still performing pretty well at 9% there as well. So lots of action happening over on Pulsechain at the moment, looking pretty good. Now, let's have a look at Richard Hart's post because he's been pretty bullish. He goes, this is the last 24 hours. He goes, Hex is up 20% again. As I said, Hex was doing pretty well. It was at 2.5 cents at the time. 56,000 views on that. But this is the really interesting one, right? Pulsex. And he goes, interesting. Pulsex, interesting. So keep abreast of this. So we've got liquidity at 60, almost $70 million in liquidity. APR on V1, 8.67% on the Pulsex Pulse. And of course, all the other farmings, right? These are all of Pulsex farms here on V1, on Pulsex V1. Still looking pretty amazing under those yields. Now, let's have a look at the other info. So he's got pointing out liquidity, pointing out volume. So they all have been performing very well. Look at that liquidity just going up all the time. Isn't that great? And then, of course, the liquidity over here on Pulsechain Info and Analytics, overall liquidity there. And, of course, look at that, just gone up big time. And we were down about 170 million. And look at that, heading towards $500 million, 477 at the moment on the November 28th. So pretty amazing stuff. Liquidity also going through the moon. We were down, 15 million or something, 16 million, heading towards 100 million there. So this is early days. Things are really about to really get crazy on this chain. Start thinking bigger, the Pulsechain. Some big numbers coming, and we're talking billions and billions and billions, and this thing is really going to start to rock. It's going to blow minds. What's happening over here on Pulsechain. Keep an open mind about what's happening. Look at the evidence, and it's going to be awesome. Now, talking about where Pulsechain is destined for, we were at number 2 the other day on a Gecko terminal. Obviously, every different ranking site has slightly different metrics to rank, but here we are at number 5 today. TVL locked $890 million. Trading volume, as I said, around about 75 million. Transactions heading towards 500,000, doing pretty well there. But look at the ones above us: BNB, Base, Ethereum, Solana. Keep a look at these numbers. So TVL at the moment on BNB 1.5 billion, Base at the moment over 2 billion, Ethereum 7 billion, and Solana there. It says here 59.6. Now you can question some of the makeups of these balances, but nevertheless, let's just take it for what it is. Keep an eye on Pulsechain as we go into the next few months and into the next 12 months compared to where we are today. I think you're going to get some pretty crazy numbers happening on the old Pulsechain there. Looking pretty exciting. All right, who else? I think that's our Pulsechain coverage today. We've done what we've done: stocks, we've done interest rates, we've done crypto. We've done Pulsechain. We're going to get into X28 and Shogun next, Hyper and Turbo. I'm excited for both of those. Looking amazing. Let's see. We got Fast Abdul in the house there. Let's talk bribes. Hex token channel member representing. We got Wookie in the house. There's Love UFO. Yeah, UFO doing extremely well. And we got Hex down there. Happy Friday, Superman. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that. Thanks very much there, Hex down under. That's very nice. I've had a lot on lately, so that's why I've moved to a 2-day format. Lots of different things. Hex Daddy stats, no penalties, says Volt. You haven't pulled that up. I haven't been pulling it up. The reason why I stopped pulling up Hex stats is because they were so delayed. They were getting very delayed, so I stopped pulling that up. So no penalties today, you're saying? So interesting. All right, let's pull up Titanix and let's go through the whole ecosystem. Lots is happening over there, and of course we've got two different dynamics. We've got Pulsechain with its pumpamentals. So we've got Richard Hart, obviously. We've got the Magic Cart Ride. We've got the PEDI Maker Theory. We now got all that sort of stuff happening over in Pulsechain. So it's very cool. Different pumpamentals. On Titanix, we've got Jake Sharp. We've got Eric. We've got Stevie D. We've got the Blaze team. All these people like that doing a different kind of concept, hyper-deflation concept. Really leading the DeFi innovation space with ROI protocols. And of course, fundamentally revolutionizing a lot of DeFi like Titan Farm. So we've got very different narratives, very different fundamentals happening on both chains, and both of them offering up a lot of potential value for the future. So it really is going to be fun to see those both be successful during the bull market. I think they're going to be some of the most successful dominating crypto. Obviously, Titanix, Ethereum, Omnichain, Pulsechain on Pulsechain, obviously. And we're going to see some pretty incredible numbers be hit. It's going to be really, really fun to see that. So let's go for gold on that. Let's get into it and pull in some of the Titanix performance at the moment. So we're going to have a look here. Obviously, yesterday we've had 2 days of a bullish recovery. And then we're obviously with Shogun launching, we've had a bit of a sell-off overnight. Typically, the United States looks like it would happen at 3 or 4 in the morning. Typically, Americans probably doing that. No offense to Americans, but maybe they wanted some figgy pudding for their Thanksgiving dinner, I don't know. But that's kind of caused the sell-off from what we can see. We did have kind of the last of the big stakes coming out too. They just sort of had a flow over day. We often get flow over day after that last big 2.5 trillion kind of candle came out. And we are in deflation now. So the charts, don't let them surprise you. We are in deflation there on Titan-X at the moment. So we're going to watch it. It's going to be very aggressive. I think it's going to be very aggressive day after day. So it's going to be fun to watch this. So let's get to it. So Flux at the moment, the only one with a little green sign. We've got just very slightly, not even 1%, but just over 0.13% there. Flux. Everything else is pretty much down. Morpheus, though, is holding up extremely well. Obviously, Rags to Riches there. Pulsechain influencer, Titan-X influencer is doing pretty well there. And of course, what's the thing? The DEX. They got a DEX coming. Maybe Morpheus gets used for the DEX. They got lots of a roadmap going to be happening there. So Morpheus holding up pretty much almost flat today. So pretty cool. Only down less than just over 0.5% down. Ouroboros, of course, we were waiting for that. One of the 3 big DeFis, the last of the big 3 DeFis to launch. Although I think we're going to have a 4th or 5 big DeFis because Morpheus really, that DEX is a DeFi. And we got some magic stuff potentially coming from DragonX, a mystery project. That could be another big DeFi project too. So we could have 5 big DeFi projects that are all pushing the boundaries of DeFi and doing some extremely clever stuff. So pretty cool. However, I just want to say I kind of feel like Volt's staking protocol was a Thunder that's coming. That would add in as number 6 DeFi, wouldn't it? Number 6 because it's kind of doing some cool stuff there. Yeah, I mean, arguably, yeah, it's going to be cool. I kind of see it like a crossover between Element 280. Yeah, it could be, and Titan Farms. So we could see that Thunder there doing pretty amazing. And Stevie D's got some other cool ideas. So I think things are going to look pretty fun. Now, getting back to Ouroboros. Obviously, we're looking for that potentially launch in the first week of December is kind of the word on the street. And that is massive, right? Huge supply sink, potentially a good demand, adding further demand, and at the perfect time when Shogun and X28 are starting to go omni-chain. Now, they haven't got omni-chain yet, but it's the kind of the laying the infrastructure because you want to dominate Ethereum first, and then you can, you basically set up the ability for X28 to go through layer 0 over to other chains at the right time. But first, you've got to set up that strength, that strong foundation on Ethereum. So looking forward to that. So Ouroboros, Shogun, X28, all happening at the right time. It's going to be a lot of fun for that. Scale down 5% at the moment. Alien X down 9%, and Baby Dragon X down 12%. So these are actually holding up. These are some of the more speculative ones if you think about it, holding up pretty well. Blaze down 12%, Helios down 12%, Inferno down 12% there. Now let's go have a quick look at Inferno. We're going to have a look at the burn on this because it is actually probably the leader, I think. Yeah, leader in burning. 56% Inferno burned. They got the roadmap of projects coming. Probably well over half a dozen is my guess. But of course, this is probably the more ROI speculative community in the Titan-X ecosystem. But the burn is actually the most accelerated on Inferno, the underlying fixed coin there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the next waves for Inferno. I would like to see actually Inferno add a stats page, just like DragonX has added, showing all the protocols that are burning Inferno off. That'd be very cool to see. So if you're out there, Inferno team, that'd be very cool because I love that DragonX addition to the burning stats. We're gonna have a look at that soon. What else we got? We got Legend X is down 13%. X28, of course, down 16%. Now X28 is booming. So let me just jump back there. Element 280 just crossed over. We got X28 is booming. And so yeah, what we got the market cap at the moment. Let me just scroll down here. I think I've got a snapshot of this. So let me just double check. X28 I did. So we're pretty similar market cap to when I took this yesterday, I think it was. So that has not really changed. So we're going to keep an eye out on X28 there. Let's jump over to the next one there. We've got obviously Element 280 just jumped up there, down 16%. Hydra down 17%. The Titan-X. So Titan-X is we're going to look at that. Obviously the medium exchange, and we're going to see the supply. So at the moment, so you talked about what happened to Titan-X overnight. Well, I mean you can see it in the chart here. It was definitely American culprits there. Maybe some of the unstakers. I haven't actually tracked it. but that is where we saw the retrace. We're sitting at 8,500 with 6 zeros. Now we're at 7. Well, we got pretty low actually. We got down to 6,400, 6,500, 6 zeros. Now back at 6 zeros, 7,200. Partial recovery there. But watch this. It's going to be fun to see this over the next 28 days, right, with the Shogun and all the other protocols launching in Titanx. So, yeah, fun times. So it's Titanx. Let's have a look at the actual supply. So I did a snapshot yesterday of Titanx supply, and we were at 70, just under 70.6 trillion. We're at, 71.6 trillion. We're now just below 71. So it's starting to take effect with the old Shogun and X28. So keep an eye on that. What else we got going? We're going to get Tink Farms at the moment, down 60%, 58 cents. Tink Farms have been operating like a boss, right? They have been doing so well. This thing, keep an eye on Tink because there's going once use cases start coming for Tink, we already know there's a couple out there already. This Tink's going to get pretty valuable. I think we're going to get quite a bit of a rebound in price at the moment, holding up very well at 58 cents. And I would say, I don't know, I'm just guessing it's probably maybe 2.5 times its intrinsic value, maybe 2 times. I think we've got total burning at the moment at 17%, which is pretty awesome. I mean, it started off like 5%, maybe lower than that. Now it's at 17. And of course, the higher the LP goes, the more LP pools go in there. And then we could see some real move-ons with the price there. So some people might just quietly just be accumulating their Tink, waiting for some of those second layer protocols to operate. That's one definite strategy that people can do if you're patient. So yeah, look at the top performer at the moment. Tink Titanx 224%. Got to be pretty good, right? Looking pretty good there. Dragon X Hydra 147%. We've got 114% on Rapti. Titanx Hyper Titanx is 112%. Now we know that, of course, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but Volt Vision has got turbo launching, and that's going to require Hyper. So that's another buying pressure for Hyper. I'm interested to see an eye out on this LP as well. So doing pretty well across the board there with the old yields there, especially if you compare them to, at the moment at least, to Pulsechain. So, and don't forget you've got that underlying assets. Most of them are hyper deflationary. Thinking of Titanx, of course, Dragon X. So what else we got in there? Volt, of course. So hyper deflationary assets and yield farm. I mean, it's just mind blowing, really. This whole idea, pretty awesome. So big shout out to Eric there from Dragon X. So that is Tink doing pretty well. Let's jump over to some others there. Obviously, Viper is down 70%. Now, Viper is going to be really interesting. Viper, we're going to talk about that in a minute. And Volt, of course, is here as well, down 70%. These have been performing, when the market's up, these start to perform very well. They get in the top 5, particularly Volt. Yeah, we've got 8. Awesome. We're going to come back to these two, Viper and that, because we're going to talk about all of them. Awesome X down 20% at the moment. Lotus, which, part of the, I guess, the Volt and the Volt and Viper family. We're going to talk about that too. That is down 20% there. Eden, part of that as well, down 51% at the moment, down to 8 cents. Obviously, that was extremely well, doing up a lot, 16, 20 cents, 22 cents. That's down 51% at the moment. So those are the ones we're going to look at as a family. So let's go to that. And we're going to probably pull it in on Volt Titanx. Go Volt Titanx. We could go Dragon X, but let's go to Volt Titanx there and have a look at the chart. So that is where we are at the moment, 2.5 cents on Volt, and the market cap at $17 million, say. Liquidity, of course, pretty huge, right? Arguably, I haven't looked at all the pairs of Dragon X, but probably the second biggest LP liquidity pair after Titanx, if I remember rightly. So we're going to check that out in a minute. But pretty cool, 4.7. And of course, let's jump over to the to Volt. Let's go to Volt first, and we're going to have a look at that. So before we do that, let me just catch up in the chat there. I think we've got some comments from Volt there. The Lotus to Eden swap will be interesting on day 9. That's correct. So just take a note of that, because on day 9 people will be able to swap their Lotus for Eden. So that's very important there in terms of the staking, which is 8 days. So we're going to protect that too for Eden. Deep Pixel says Dragon X supply is rapidly shrinking, burning 30,000 plus Dragon X daily, still pre-bull market, pre-Death Star, pre-BNB. Yeah, looking for the Death Star there. Pre-BNB, integration, Titanix supply collapse yet to begin in the year. So I agree with all that. That's super bullish. All right, so let's jump over to where we are here. So look at this number, Vault supply. It is the kingpin. So Vault Vision, of course, is the roadmap for Vault, and it has all these other protocols and a few, friendly third parties like Lotus, for example, and Eden. But we got Vault there at 700,230,000. So we're about to go below 700 million on Vault. Pretty exciting times. Now the Vault Treasury has been weakening off the last couple of days. So we have had that, and we've got the auction. Remember, the auction is 20% of the Vault Vision. At the moment, that is sitting at 4 million. So that's definitely weakened up. I think we got up close to 4.5 million, somewhere around that ballpark. So we have definitely weakened off in that. But it's very popular. Look at this. The ROI is down 82% already, and we got 76.7 billion Titanix in there. So that's doing pretty well. And of course, the talk about Turbo coming up for Hydra is going to refeed, or not refeed, but add another. I think we've got 4. I think it's 4 different feeders feeding into the Treasury Vault, and we're probably going to have 5 coming in now with Turbo, requiring the input of the Hyper token. So watch this probably get boosted from that, as well as all the other protocols launching coming up. Kaizen, for example, on the Shogun, that will be coming quickly after probably about the 6th of December for Kaizen, which is going to take Shogun. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see all this operate, setting up more LP pools there. And of course, we've got the V2 pools now with the Vault set up only about 5 hours ago with Shogun itself. So V2, not just V3 pools, but V2 pools now as well operating. So pretty interesting stuff there. You can see Viper at the moment, 1,400% ROI, 82% for Vault. So they pretty much all get closed out by the end of the day. So that is ticking away there at the moment. And the burn, of course, is operating. How much is the burn at the moment? $90,000. So 126 billion Titanix is there at the moment. And we're sitting total buy and burn balance just under $1 trillion Titanix sitting in the buy and burn there. But the other news we want to talk about is a Viper. Because Viper has already gone below 700 million. So it crossed over, was it 2 days ago? Crossed over past under Vault. And of course, this has slightly different tokenomics, right? It had an 8-day auction, and it had 100 million tokens in the perpetual auction to kick it off. So it already started off with a much higher perpetual auction. So at the moment, we've gone below. We're just under 695 million. Hasn't shown up in the chart yet, though. So obviously, different drivers driving charts, not just the supply numbers. But it is operating. It's doing its thing very well as well. So what's going to feed this, right? The wheel, right? So what else is coming from Viper? The wheel's coming, and it's going to feed all the pillars, as we know. That's including, including it's obviously Viper, including what is it? What did I just say? I forgot the name. Turbo. That's it. Thanks, guys. And Kaizen presumably as well. So it's going to get some love. Now, what happens to the other pillars? Well, I think they're going to be dependent on volume. And there's obviously a lot of pillars in the list. We shall see when they actually launch. So that's kind of the play at the moment. So actually, Viper doing very well. 25.3% burned compared to Vault, 33.34%. So we're actually exactly at 1/3 of Vault is now burned live on stream. How about exactly 1/3? How about that? So 1/3 of Vault is gone. Now, that's going to be really significant because we're going to continue to burn this, and we've got more protocols launching, obviously. Obviously, we've got Eden out at the moment. Eden's doing pretty well there. And we got the 8. What's the big news about this? Obviously, the payouts. The payouts at the moment are looking pretty amazing. There's 1 day and 18 hours to go to get yourself Eden, to get it staked. And that's for the 8-day payout. And then after the 8-day, we've got the 9-day, which is what was pointed out by Deep Pixels. Vault here. That there's going to be a swap of Lotus. So that could cause quite a bit of volatility. We'll see what happens there. And of course, staking yield as well could be reduced. So we'll see what happens with that. But at the moment, look, we're almost at 400 billion Titanix in the 8-day pool. Remember, it included 200 billion in each of these pools from the Lotus protocol. And so here we got in Eden, we were almost 400 billion in the 48-day. And we had 340 billion in the 88-day. So pretty exciting. And don't forget, they've got this bi-weekly Eden Bloom reward as well. You have to have a certain amount of certain amount of Eden in that to qualify. You can check the docs for that. So stats at the moment, we've got 36 million in liquidity. We've got a little bit 1 million stake so much. Watch that stake number is going to change pretty dramatically, and of course we've got miners coming out, short miners, as well as the liquidity pool, and then of course the buy and burn 613,000 at the moment, just ticking away. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, people are going to be able to take their loaders, and it's obviously still got its payout pools running, still got the 48-day coming up, 71% the way there. It's got a pretty nice amount of almost 700 billion Titanx in there. Pretty cool. So that's still ticking away. But of course, there was some issue with the stake, I think it was, in this protocol. So people are pretty much, I think, will be migrating to Eden for the most part, and we'll get that 1-to-1 swap on the 9th. It's going to be pretty interesting play out. Now, the big news, of course, coming up is Turbo is coming to Hyper 1st of December, and this is another bullish thing for Vault. Obviously going to feed that perpetual auction, so keep a lookout for that. And yeah, it's going to be pretty amazing what happens there. Now I just want to go back to Vault here because we're going to do some math. It's going to do some math here. We'll go back to the auction, and we're going to pull up the calculator and do some math. Anyone love math? Come on, put your hand up if you like the math. All right, so we had what do we got here? We got 4 million. So let's just do a round number there. 4 million. So we have about 20 million that was in yesterday's, just over 20 million that was in yesterday's treasury balance. So we'll probably get pretty close to that today. By the time we get end of the day, which is in 14 hours, probably get pretty close to that. But we need it to refill. We need to get bigger, right? And so this is going to be very important. The Vault pillar called Turbo is launching on the 1st. That's going to be pretty awesome. Probably on the 6th or 7th, something like that, we'll get the next one, Kaizen on Shogun. I think both of these are going to be super bullish, or hyper bullish, as we say. But we're going to have Hyper there coming out. So I'm very excited for that. So another feeder number 5, I think it is, coming into, I think it's 5, and then 5 going into Vault there. So pretty cool. So that is looking pretty good. 2 days, yeah. So everyone's excited about that. It's going to be a Turbo Hyper pair. Nice. You're going to need Hyper to go in there. Now, Hyper needs a big use case, right? So we've got Hyper. Hyper at the moment is, where is Hyper? Let's go look for that chart. Hyper, where you gone? Let me just sort by liquidity. It might help. Hyper. Where's HyperCon? Is Hyper even on my list? I'm sure. I've had to make this list like 3 times because the deck screen kept deleting it. Have I not got Hyper on there? I didn't even see Hyper on there. What the heck? Maybe it's Hyper's missing. Is Hyper missing? Let's go have a look at Hyper. That's hilarious. But I've had it just delete the whole thing, and I've had to redo it. There's Hyper there. No, I don't have it on the list. That's pretty crazy. All right, so there we go. It just shows you when you think you've made the list, it doesn't quite get wrong. All right, so Hyper is in-house, and that is sitting at 5 zeros, 1100. We had quite a bit of sell volume in there today from the looks of it. And so, yeah, Hyper is going to be needed for that. And if we go to the website to have a look at Hyper, we can see the stats. The stats are saying that we've got 2.3 trillion Hyper liquid. And we know that, I think it's the first week, so about the 7th or 8th, we have peak inflation coming up for Hyper, at least the first main wave. So that's probably good timing to have that coming out a week earlier. So I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, so there we go for Hyper. At the moment, we've got 40% liquid. So let's see where this number goes on the 1st, how much that goes down, right? And of course, it should go into BOH protocols, right? Which is 0 at the moment. It's 0. So bring on the pillar Turbo because things are about to change. BOH is about to go up and from 0. And of course, it looks like the first protocol launching for Hyper. Pretty exciting. Now, we know there's other cool protocols, right? I think we've got the Matrix from Mike Dean coming for Hyper. And I think some of the Blaze team, we've got some protocols coming. So yeah, it's going to get a lot more love. Obviously, Titan Farms out there. I think there's also, I think Titan Farms here doing one as well. So yeah, let's see where this goes. What else we got here? We got some comments. We're still ticking through. We've still got more to talk about with the Titan XE system. And we're up to 44 minutes. We've got plenty of time to talk about it too. Excited says, let's pull Eric out of the closet. What is Death Star? Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's been pretty quiet. People are saying that, Eric's been pretty quiet. Dragon X's been pretty quiet. But we know that all his stuff is AAA grade again. AAA grade, isn't it? I mean, look at Dragon was amazing. Is amazing. What else we got? Titan Farms, absolutely mind-blowing. The frontier of farming really is crazy. And, man, the roadmap still, it's just going to get better and better. Death Star out there. Yeah, the mystery project's going to be pretty awesome. So we're going to come back to that. When X28 with Tink Pool, there is a Titan X Tink Pool, X28 equal to X28. So we need more ink to. Yeah, well, I would suggest that to Eric. Just hit him up about that, because I suggested a farm to him, and it ended up coming. Not necessarily that I caused it, but it certainly came. X28 is equal to Titan X, absolutely. We got the 555s from Crispy. Hey, Crispy, hope you're doing well. And Death Star was supposed to be a secret project, but here we are. Alpha Lake sends deep pixels. When Shaolin, sir. When Shaolin. It's coming. It's coming. So we've got so much stuff coming down the pipeline. It's crazy. And projects. We're going to look at all that. All right. So, yeah, very excited about this. This is the big news. Turbo coming Sunday. It's going to be fun covering that. We're going to obviously cover it on this channel, hopefully. What else there? Yeah, everything going pretty well. So still cool stuff coming from them. Let me just scroll down here. Actually, I'm not sure if I've got so many posts out these days. I'm not sure if I put the roadmap, but the Vault Vision roadmap looking amazing. And we've slowly got Vault there getting down in terms of the burn. I was trying to look through some of these, but I thought we had the vision, but trying to find that. You guys getting dizzy? I'm getting dizzy. Whoa, I'm getting dizzy. I thought I had the Vault Vision map up there, but I don't have that. So obviously we've got Kaizen coming for Shogun. We're going to have the wheel. I think it's the 18th of December. That is going to require Titan X, and it's going to feed all these different pillars, right? So feed the Kaizen, feed Viper, feed Turbo launching on Sunday, and that's going to be Titan X. So that's going to make them spin fast, even faster. Yeah, so looking exciting for that. And then we've got some big DeFi launching for the Vision roadmap before the end of December, as I understand it. And then we've got the big Staking Thunder protocol launching on the 8th of January. So yeah, and we've got the Surge out there. So it's going to be 3 DeFi protocols. So we're waiting to hear about 2 of those coming for Vault. So very exciting roadmap there as well. So we've got the Shogun roadmap coming from Jake Sharp. We've got the Vault Vision coming from Stevie D. And of course, we've got the Death Star and stuff like that coming from Eric, who's been very quiet, relatively speaking, for Eric. So let's have a look at the new website for Dragon X. Look at this. In fact, we're going to strictly check the ratio. Ratio at the moment, 11.5 Titan X per Dragon X at the moment. So it's sitting at 8,300 with 5 zeros. Market cap 42 million. 6.3 million liquidity. Now, the stats page, this has all been updated. So if you haven't seen the Dragon X new website, it's fantastic. I hope that some of the other websites start to move like this, particularly the Blaze team could do this for Inferno and all the related projects because it gives you that full breakdown that I like. Total Dragon X burned across all protocols, 1.6 trillion. Dragon X, $13.5 million, 24.34% burned so far. Isn't that awesome? Remember that we saw that Inferno's kind of leading the way, 56%. There's another project that's pretty close. Is it? I'm just trying to think what that was. It Awesome X or Alien X, something like that. I think it may Alien X. So yeah, doing pretty well to burn. We've got total minted 6.7 trillion. Dragon X minted 555 million. But it's got a breakdown of all the protocols, which I really like. This is part of the new website. So we've got Titan X there doing pretty well. Dragon X burned 1.3 trillion. We've got Hydra there, 218 billion there. Titan Farms is 4 billion. Tinkering away there. Tinkering, do you like that one? Tinkering away. Morpheus, which is doing pretty similar, slightly better numbers actually. The Titan Farms at the moment, 5.3 billion. Awesome X at 4 billion there. So pretty similar numbers from all these, right? All these different protocols. Viper though, Viper, look at that. Woo! This is some serious burning of Dragon X, 69 billion. And then Element 280 doing pretty well, 116 billion. So doing very well. So look at that Viper, right? I know that I think Eric may have been a little bit worried about the 5% mark, but look, hey, look, Viper's delivering. Look at that, 69 billion. And when you compare it to these other protocols, I mean, you know, it's not too far, but well, it's, I guess, a little bit behind Hydra, but really doing pretty well behind Hydra, which is obviously huge for Dragon X buy and burn, sitting at 218 billion. So total at the moment, 1.6 trillion, $3.5 million. And yeah, in the last 24 hours, 5.2 billion has been burned. So it gives you an idea of the run rate, 43,000. So what other things has Dragon X got up its sleeve? And of course, people talking about the Death Star. Now, there's obviously all the ether still sitting in here. So the ether's not been activated. You can still see it sitting in the Dragon X vault, still sitting in the buy and burn Dragon X. So there's what, $3.3 million or so sitting in here waiting to be triggered. That's all part of the master plan. Part of the master plan is going on there. So it's pretty exciting, right? Part of the master plan. So this is the Dragon X DeFi system at the moment. So we've talked about kind of Stevie DeFi's vaults, but we've got Hydra over here, we've got Titan X, we've got Farms, all leading innovations. I mean, doing a spectacular job. And then we've got coming soon question mark there. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see where all it plays out. We are waiting for that next innovation. So yeah, pretty cool. Loving the website there, Dragon X. All right, so let's jump over to. I think we've covered a lot of that stuff. Let's get into Shogun and X28. So let's do all that. Let's close down some of these other sites, and let's get into Shogun. So we've had a lot of news around Shogun. Obviously, it is just the last one to launch. So we're in a launch page here. We've got Shogun there sitting just below. Well, it says here 1.9 cents. Where's the current price? Let's see who else is jumping here. Crispy is here for the tech, says Fast Abdul. 3650 says Volt. Xara, where are you? Says Excited Time. Yeah, I'm not. Xara is Volt on Volt, right? So I'm not sure we've got that quite out of the park yet. So it's a little. We've already had confirmed of Kaizen, Shogun, and Turbo for Hyper. I'm just not sure about some of these other ones here. I know some of them are on the list. Xara is on the near-term list. So whether he does some surprises around there, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where he gets there. I would love to have Stevie D on the show. So if you're out there, Stevie D, hit me up. If you guys are following Stevie, you got Stevie D, let him know. I'd love to get him on the show to talk about the Vault Vision roadmap. All right. So that is kind of the play there. So Shogun. And, of course, we had that launch. And we've been watching Titan X, right? Because you need Titan X for X28. So let's go to, we've got X28 up here. I was trying to think. We've got X28. So there's X28. So X28 at the moment, you've got to go in here and convert your Titan X into X28, right? X28 is the same thing as Titan X, but it's omni-chain capable, right? So it's capable of bridging over to all these other chains. It's not enabled yet, right? So it's just primarily building its strength on the old Ethereum, but it will be transferable to Base, Arbitrum, Optimism, BNB, Polygon, Blast, and Avalanche. So there's only one supply of Titan X. It will be synonymous with X28. And so, yeah, and of course, when you mint X28, you are going to be, when you transform it, you are going to be burning half of the Titan X you put into it. So it's big time deflationary. And then the other half is going to be used to buy and burn X28. So it's a win-win. You'll get the equivalent amount of a Titan X there. So you put 280 million Titan X in, you get 280 million X28. And you don't worry too much about the mechanics in the background, but it's basically going to help you. Now, if there is a big gap between the prices between X28 and Titan X, then you get that arbitrage, right? The market will arbitrage it. That's the whole idea there. So pretty cool. We may see some forced separation in price too. That'd be interesting, right? Of course, some particular behavior. That might be interesting there. So the total stats at the moment, we've got just under 2.2 trillion X28. So obviously it's doing very well. It's really ramped up the last couple of days. And we got box 28 protocols. So these are X28 protocols, pretty much Shogun there. 930 billion has gone into there from the looks of it. And obviously we've got LPs and other things going on here with X28. Let's jump over to the Shogun. Of course, Shogun launched, and really like this sort of burgundy, not Ron Burgundy, but burgundy interface for Shogun, looking really, really nice. So We've got obviously liquid X28. Now there's two options at the moment, right? You can go with your stakes from Titanix, but you've got to match it with the equivalent amount of liquid Titanix, but you have to have it in X28, right? So you've got to need to convert your X28, so your Titanix first. You'll have to transform it here into X28. Then you can come to Shogun. If you've got Titan stakes, it will show up. And I've obviously not connected here, and this account doesn't have any Titan stakes, but if it does, it will show up here. I'll have your stakes here, and then you need to match it with the X28, which you get via that transform on the X28 DApp. Now, there's a button down here that will take you to the X28 DApp. Create X28 here in about 22 seconds. You get 1-to-1, remember, for your Titanix. So you really don't care about the burning mechanism. It's just a public good for you. That's pretty much it. So pretty easy. Now, this only lasts, you can only use stakes for the first 28 days, right? It's a 28-day auction and then after that, it's perpetual auctions, right? So what you'd have to do after the day 28, if you want to get into perpetual auctions, you only can use X28. So you only be able to do that. So you have to transform Titanix into X28 to do that. So hopefully that's clear. And of course, you go to the claim button and you can claim your auction supply afterwards. Kind of cool. It's got little question marks here, so if you want to, you can read all the question marks if you want to get a bit of extra info. And of course, the white paper is down the bottom here. If you want to read the light paper, it's only like one page, so pretty easy to learn. And you can read that too for extra information. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's go to the obviously the buy and burns operating in Shogun. So we can see the buy X28 with Titanix, Shogun buy and burn, and looks like we've got 339 billion Titanix in the buy X28 with Titanix, and currently we've got 430 billion X28, not Titanix, X28. They're both the same thing, but obviously different functions here, and that's going to buy X28 bought with Titanix is used to buy Shogun and burn it. So it's kind of cool. So that's ticking away. That's well, it's going to tick away at some stage. The buy and burn starts day 2, so we've still got 5 hours to go until the buy and burns on this page start up. So not far, 5 hours. What's it going to do to the market sentiment? Probably going to be bullish, is my guess, right? So at the moment, we've got 100 million Shogun sitting in there. War chest's got 226,000. Remember, this is from these taxes. So the taxes that go in. Now we've got obviously 2 forms of war chest taxes. We've got the 8% tax on buy, sells, and transfers of Shogun. So this is really going to start ramping up as the LP pools start up. So that's kind of the play at the moment. And you got this is the white paper, so you can go through all the different stuff here. Here's the war tax, right? So it's got the explanation of what we talk about. War tax here, war chest. So it's got a war tax burned. Total Shogun burned from proof of work 2.0 by other decentralized protocols in the war chest there. Total of liquid Shogun in existence excludes Genesis, which hits the market. So let's just jump over that. So you got the war tax, that's the definition of that, and you got the war chest. So non-inflationary Shogun creates perpetual auctions in the future for day 8% of the Shogun, and war chest balance is used every day for the perpetual auctions. So that's war chest is basically perpetual auctions, just what we have for Vault and stuff like that. And it's fed the 8% of the balance. So in Vault we have 20%, but here it's 8%. Then the war tax, of course, 8% transfer tax. So this is a bit like Element 280 side. We saw how well that did, particularly getting bots to make millions of dollars for us. The whole idea is that this can happen too with the war tax there. So let's have a look at the pool. So we've got some pools here for Shogun. I think we've got this on the list here. Let me just do age, probably the best way to find it. So we've got X28, been around for X28 Shogun, been around for 18 hours. So let's have a look at that. It's got the 1 hour chart log. Well, it says 18 hours, but it's only got 2 hours. So obviously it's been set up a while ago, but it's got 2 hours there. Now we're going to go to the other one. We've got the price there at 6,06300. That's X28 Shogun. But let's go to the Shogun LP pools. So I made a list of all the LP pools here and liquidity there. So we've got X28 Shogun, the one I just looked at. I've saved it to both both lists there. It has got $100,000 liquidity. Watch this number. These numbers are going to change dramatically in the days ahead. We got Shogun there at 75,000. So these are the 2 books. So Shogun Titanix and X28 Shogun. So those are the 2 big pools at the moment. And we've got 175K liquidity. Now watch these numbers. These numbers are going to climb aggressively in the days ahead. So we're really going to be cool to see that. Then we've got all these other pools, right? So we're expecting around about 30 pools, or heading up towards 30 pools, and then maybe up to 60 pools after that. So yeah, so far so good. This is on V2, remember, not V3. And of course we've got the 8% tax, right? We've got this tax, this transferred tax there on buys and sales. Now, 3% of all the taxes Shogun from the war tax will be used for liquidity webs with the BOT system. So fattening up liquidity there. 47% of Shogun war tax bought gets burned forever. So if we're getting a lot of bot activity which is what we're hoping for with all these LP pools and with the ramp up of it, just like Element 280, then we're going to get a lot of free money, basically tons of free money, potentially $500,000, $1 million a day or something like that. So this could be huge. Burning war tax, burning Shogun, free for you. It's like a freebie. Thanks very much for your service. In addition to the buy and burn operating, right, which we're getting operating in 5 hours or so. So we're going to have both these operating. So both these big pumpamentals expected to ramp up. Now, 50% of Shogun from war tax gets sent to the war chest for future perpetual auctions, right? So that's also feeding into the war chest there. So we've got two things here. We've got the non-inflationary Shogun creates perpetual auctions in the future there. The Shogun bought off the market by the buy and burn or through percentage of the war tax there. So we've got these two things operating to feed the war chest there. So really has optimized a lot of the best features that we've seen in Vault and Element 280. So pretty kind of cool. So that's kind of the neat things happening there. Let's see here. The two biggest LP pools will be X28 Shogun and Titan X Shogun, which we've obviously got set up at the moment. They are indeed the biggest two at the moment. But watch these numbers, because we're expecting some pretty magical things to happen with all these numbers, and get a lot of activity. So it's early days, as you can see. We've got there 20 LPs at the moment. This is expected to continue to grow. It's going to be fun to see that play out. Xara's on Lotus. Yeah, okay, Xara's on Lotus there. What's the Vault one? The Vault one on Vault. I have to double check that. All right. Let's see. We've got, so that's pretty much Shogun. So it's still early days, and things are really just starting to kick up. We've got 5 hours to buy and burn starts operating. We've got the LP pools are set up now. They basically start off small because of all the sniper bots. They get in at the beginning with a little bit of tokens that are put into LP. So just getting rid of these, and then of course we're expecting the trading bots to start kicking up over time as well. And you can see those stats on the Shogun page here. We've got war tax burn here, buy and burn, BOS protocols, war chest, which is the perpetual auction, and liquid there at the moment. So early days, we've just started. Now let's go back to Titan X and have a look at the total amount of a Titan X that's actually gone through X28, and of course I think we've only had about 20% of the X28 go through into the Shogun so far, so we're going to expect that to ramp up too. We've got almost 3.9 trillion Titan X has gone through X28, and heading towards 1.9 trillion Titan X burned. So very exciting times. Keep an eye out on that number. Little Titan X is going to be pretty awesome. Yeah, good times ahead. So kind of cool. We're going to have probably a bigger update in 2 days' time once we see all those things operating, the LPs, the bots, the buy and burns, the people FOMOing into the auction. Remember, there's only a set amount of tokens available in the auctions a day. So remember that there's 100 million a day for 28 days. So 2.8 billion is the total. 2.8 billion. Yeah, 2.8 billion. Wait a minute. 2.8 billion. Yeah, tokens in total supply. Yeah, total today's Shogun up for auction, 100 million there. That's the data there. Total entered today. So the amount that entered into the auction today, 1.9 trillion Titan X entered in today's auction. So what do you do when you go in these auctions? Well, kind of average in, right? I kind of feel possibly day 10 to 14 might be the best yield, but if the buy and burn operates as intended and the bots come into play, then maybe just a nice average every day is probably the best strategy to enter in on these. So let's see. But we've got close to 2 trillion a day. Remember, Titan X, we've only got 71 trillion. So how much is going to be sucked into that every day? Because obviously, 28 times 2, 56. So 56 trillion. We're going to really get that much. It's going to be interesting. Pretty confident about us getting into 30-40 trillion mark. Definitely doable. But of course, we're also going to need Titan X for other protocols like the wheel and everything else. So, and we're also going to have a lot of sticky people, right, that just won't give up or have gone on vacation or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see where the liquid goes to. I guess our biggest indicator of that was Hydra, obviously. So yeah, let's see where that lands with that metric. Right, what else we can say? Is that it? I think we've gone through that. So yeah, exciting times, man. It's going to be so cool to see that transfer tax, the bot activity, the buy and burn kicking off. Things are only just starting to heat up, and in 5 hours' time, we're going to see the next step, next phase of Shogun operate with this, this buy and burn ticking away, which is spooling up with Titanx. Look at that. Let's go. Keep a look out. These numbers are going to be fun. All right. So I think that's it on that one. Let's see. We're doing an hour and 5 minutes. Doing pretty good. Let's go back to Titanx. Have a quick look at that. Looks like Morpheus is actually in the green now. So Morpheus doing pretty well, isn't it, at this stage? So exciting times. They're holding up pretty well as Morpheus. And let's look at the last 6 hours. Big performer. Well, X28, Eden, Hyper. Hyper probably getting a nice little bit of good news there from the turbo coming. In the last hour, they were sort of performing best. Eden there, up 7%. A nice one there from Eden. And of course, we've only got a day or so to go, right, for Eden rewards. So it's going to be a bit of FOMO there around Eden, no doubt. All right, so that's pretty much it. An hour and 5 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. And I certainly enjoyed covering a lot of those awesome topics. And of course, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. If you haven't joined our Discord link's in the video description. If you want to join our strategy club, that's also in the video description as well. All pretty reasonable priced as well. What else? Yeah, enjoy. Things are really just looking so good in crypto. And yeah, we're definitely in the early phases of the bull market. And obviously with Bitcoin at 95K. And things are really about to get really juicy for Pulsechain and Titanx. I think both of them ended extremely well in altcoin season. January, really, that's next level gears, right? We're just ratcheting up the gears. Good times. All right, take care. I'll catch you guys, and I will be in Discord after the live stream. Until then, take care, and probably see you in 2 days' time, something like that. All right, bye for now.